All right, so we're going to take a look at Merlin. I said I'd make more videos on Merlin because this is an impressive all-in-one AI tool. And what makes it even more impressive is that they have over 1 million users. They've been around for a while, fully developed tool, and it does have the at least chance to be in the conversation of replacing Claude or ChatGPT, depending on how heavy of a use case that you need. So that's kind of what I'm testing right now. One of my goals that I would like to do, if possible, is find any tools that I can replace in my business with a really solid lifetime deal tool. Now, there's a bunch of different sites out there, lifetime deal sites, even besides Appsumo. And let's just be honest, not every tool that even hits Appsumo hits it out of the park and is around in a couple years and so forth. So it is kind of a funny game when it comes to should you invest in a tool and so forth. But Merlin has been around. I mean, let's just go into Appsumo and just check real quick. I'm going to go into Appsumo and then I'm going to go in and we'll see if we can find Merlin. I'll just type it in. And this is a chance to pick it up right now while it's on lifetime deal. They may not come back again. And if they do come back, it'll be only for specific times of the year for specific sales, maybe not even till next Black Friday, and possibly not even come back. But I want to come over here to the founders and just look. So they do have 11 to 50 employees. So once it gets over 10 employees, the company is growing and it's a substantial business, right? And then what we can do is you can look at the financial stage that they're in. I'm not really sure what Series A means, but that's different than growth. Most of these tools are in growth phase. I would want to imagine with 1 million users and being around for now 4 years that they're probably in a different, healthier stage. They're based in the United States out of California. So some good stats overall. I do like that Appsumo is now putting this very transparent information in here. So I don't have to go out and do all this research like I used to and try to find all those answers for us. But like I said, for screen recording software, things like I'm looking at, even AI writers, it's really hard to beat, like Koala, Agility Writer, SEO Writing.ai. Those are my heavy hitting AI tools. But I do want to try to use lifetime deal software a little bit more in 2025 and see if I can reduce my spend per month by maybe between $100 and $300, because I've shared this with you guys that I spend about $2,000 or $3,000 per month on various tools, website building, funnel building softwares, email, get response for my email marketing, web hosting. I've got now multiple SiteGround and Hostinger accounts that I'm paying for. As your business grows, your expenses should grow naturally with you as well. There's a saying, make sure you don't go over 30% on your total revenue coming in. You don't want to go over 30% on expenses in your business, but that also is kind of up to you. Obviously, you can go over that. If you can pay your bills and you want to grow faster, then you might dip into your expenses even more. But usually you would be using that extra money for growth and marketing strategies. But here is the pricing for Merlin currently. If you have a Plus subscription right now, you can get until, you're going to see this video on December 5th. You have until December 6th. So you have till the end of Friday, December 6th, to make a decision. But you do have to be a Plus member. You can see right here, 27 hours to pick up this deal right now. License tier 1 is $79. You get 5,000 credits per month. License tier 2 is $149. You get 12,000 credits per month. This is the plan that I'm on. I think I'm going to go and pick up license tier 3 and try to ditch for a couple months the paid versions of Claude. Doesn't mean I won't make content on Claude and ChatGPT like I always do, and I'll probably still use those tools, but they are pretty generous on the free versions anyways. And so I really want to make sure that I'm covered during that time and see if I can really truly kind of sub out those tools that I've been paying hundreds of dollars for over the last couple of years. Merlin seems like it could be the closest, in my opinion, feel to replacing Claude, which Claude is what I use on a daily basis. That's the user interface, just everything, and the ability for Merlin to actually have Claude built in. So I'm going to probably be upgrading to license tier 3. It's at $279. So what is the difference? About $120 or $130. I will be able to get that. So this is what Claude looks like on the homepage, but we'll come over here. And what I want to do real quick is we looked at projects yesterday. I need to continue adding to this project right here because we only added the Pinterest right here, but this is very much looking like Claude's interface, right? And you can see your credits at any given time up here. But what I'm going to do is we're going to go back over and just go into Claude and see if we can I'm going to show you how we would just start adding over projects, right? And I don't know if you guys are getting this, but this has been going on for about 3 weeks to a month. Temporary defaulting to concise responses. We're experiencing high demand. Chat more with Claude using concise responses or switch back to full responses. I don't know why I keep getting this error right over here. But what I'm going to do is go over here to projects and then start looking at the ones that need to be replaced. So if I come over here and just go software review title creator right over here. So I come over here and you can see I use the heck out of this tool right here. I use it all the time, 21 hours ago, 2 days ago, 8 days ago. And a lot of times these are, I use them for a really long time until the chat gets too big and then I start another one. But nonetheless, this one's very simple. And if you notice that some of my titles are similar to another content creators, it's because it is kind of intentional. But I'm going to go over here and we're going to grab this information right over here. Now I wish I could just click inside this box and do a Control A, but it's copying everything. I don't like that. But you know what? So what I've had to do is just go like this and then just hover down. So I'll be back after I'm done. All right, so we've got all these titles. I'm going to copy that. We're going to go over to Merlin and we're in our project over here. I'm going to go into create new project and then I'm going to say software review YouTube title. Okay, something like that, right? And then I'm going to create my project. And you'll notice I'm in the dark mode today. You can turn the dark mode off and go back into a wider screen. I like the dark mode if you're going to be in the tool a lot. It's just easier on the eyes. All right, so we have a lot of options over here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to add content right over here. And we're going to add just add text right over here. And this is just going to be, and I'm going to paste these in right over here and push add content. So this is one of the pushing the add button, not able to. So this is already going to be a hiccup that I'm going to need to kind of fix. But don't worry, there is a way to do this. All we have to do is just go in here to Claude and grab this, go into Claude. So you do have to think outside the box a little bit. But remember, this is Claude is going to have higher limits for the amount of content that we can put in our projects and our chats. That's okay. I think there's still some workarounds, but you just want to know that it's not going to be a full 100% replacement. But if we can get 80% there with a couple of customizations like I'm going to do right now, then I still think that it's a win. So what we can do is we can go and just paste this clipboard here, and then I can just say extract only the YouTube titles from this list and return them back and then push enter. So now Claude's going to go out there and extract only the YouTube titles right here. And now it's going to go and just extract all of these titles for us. And there might be other things that we could do when we go back into Merlin. We might be able to just use upload a file. Maybe a file can be bigger and we could just paste all this onto a file. We could also copy a link and it can read an entire web page that has a lot of content on it. But it looks like the add text string over here is quite a bit limited. But we're going to go back over to Claude and now we have 84 titles. So now all you have to do is just copy this. And now we should be able to go in here and hopefully put our left cursor in here, Control A, delete, and then paste this in. And it looks like we are able to do that. So that's a trick. If you do want to try to replace ChatGPT or Claude, just thinking outside the box real quick, we're able to do that, right? Another thing, notice right over here, we're at 10% of knowledge used. So I'm just going to make an estimation that the project sizes are going to be a little bit smaller overall size than what we are going to be able to get inside of Claude. But now I'm going to go back over here to my project over here. So we have we need our set of instructions. So I'm going to left click in here. I'm going to copy this and go back into Merlin. And then we're going to need to go in here to the edit section of the instructions and we're going to paste the instructions and then save instructions. So now we have that. And I just want to go over here and make sure that I have everything. So we have our instructions, we have this, and that is literally it. We have nothing else. Oh, so it looks like that concise thing. This is a new feature in Claude where I would need to, instead of concise, I would want it to go back to normal. I like normal. And so I needed to switch that up. Okay. I learn something new every day, right? All right, so that would cover us right over here. And then the next test for this, I do want to save this. Let's see, boom. I don't see where we need to save. I don't see a button to save. So It must just save automatically, because what I'm going to do is just go over to AI tools. Again, there's going to be a lot of videos to create on this, because look at all these AI tools and I don't know if these are shared by users. They must be shared by users because they have over 1 million people using the platform. There must be an availability, kind of like ChatGPT sharing GPTs with the community. This AI tools must be just kind of like their GPTs in a sense. I don't believe Claude has anything like this where you can share tools that you've created with the community. But I'm going to go over here now into projects, and now we have 2 projects in here: software review title. I'm going to click inside of that, and now I'm going to go into Descript real quick, and I'm going to go into quick recordings and just say we pull a video that's not too long. This Pinterest case study, let's just click that one. And this is what I normally do is I go in here and I Control A, I copy my whole transcript. And this is a really cool way to create your YouTube titles, because I do it after the fact. I have an idea for a video, right? But then I create my engaging clickbait, quote unquote, clickbait viral YouTube title, right? That I think is catchy. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't, but I do let AI do this for me. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm inside the project now. I'm going to go like this and just paste right here. And there is a Merlin magic, and it's basically going to just choose the best. If it needs to pick ChatGPT, because like right over here, this is what's so cool. You can choose from all these models over here. I do like Claude 3.5 Sonnet the best, and it is less credits than using ChatGPT 4.0, 0.1 Mini. It's a really good balance. It still is one of the most expensive ones, but it's not as expensive as GPT-4, and I actually like Claude better, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. But and then you can turn on the live search. We don't need that for this to use this tool. But Merlin Magic, if you just turn this on, it goes like this. It turns purple, and then it's going to decide everything for you. But I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to just leave it the way it is. And then I'm going to push Ask. And now it's got all of our information, our whole transcript, and now it should be using, based on the provided transcript about a Pinterest website case study. Here are 3 engaging YouTube titles from 0 to 39. So it created them just the same way that Claude would, because we're using Claude. Remember that. We're actually using Claude in order to get our response. So it is very similar, just a little different tool. And then we're using a third-party software in order to use Claude. But we have our tags for our video that are very much on point. We have our hashtags. We even have a 30-second hook that I wanted to start recording kind of, but that takes a lot more time to do as well, but certainly really good right over here. So it does replace what we're looking for right here, okay? Another thing that I wanted to do just inside this video is I wanted to go over here to a new chat. And then when you're inside of Claude, what we can do is we can scroll down, and then you'll start seeing some really cool stuff down here, professional prompts that might have been written by the Merlin team, but you can have all these different ones: human written content, fully SEO optimized. So these are a keyword research strategy, all kinds of good stuff. This is SEO related. Now there is a see more button. We can go and click on that. And now you can go and search between SEO, applications, copywriting, generative, dev, ops, and so forth. So you can go in here and look at some really cool stuff. They even have a YouTube title, description, tags generator right there as well. But what we're going to do right now real quick for you is we're going to test this Outrank article. And I will say that I was using Merlin. I was trying to use it inside of the Arc browser, and it didn't want to work. This box right here would not pop up no matter what I did. I am still going back and forth, guys, between the Arc and Arc and Chrome browsers. I find myself just coming into Chrome for certain websites, and I just you just memorize the sites that you have to do that for. But the Arc browser is just so much easier to navigate and use on a daily basis for efficiency purposes. But I'll keep you guys posted on all that. If you wanted to learn more about that kind of my experience using both and so forth, you can go and look up one of my recent videos on Claude versus the Arc browser. All right, so you can see right here, you can pause the video and read this, but it's a very in-depth prompt. And so what we need to do is I'm going to go over here and just say, let's just say we go keto diet for beginners, food list. And then maybe we go and we find a blog that we haven't. I don't want to use Healthline or something like that, but I want to just go and see if we can find something right over here. So maybe we just go into right here and click on this and just see what we've got. Okay, so what we want to do is a keto grocery list for beginners is going to be our keyword. So I'm going to go back into Merlin, and we need to provide this right here. And then I'm going to do a shift return, because when you read up here, it says we're going to provide a URL, because this is an outrank article, right? So we have to actually provide like an article that we want to outrank. So we're going to provide the URL, the keyword, text piece. So all we need is the URL now. So I'm going to go back over here to the URL. I'm going to go up here to the URL, which is a super, this must be like some type of affiliate link or something like that. But I'm going to see if we can just shorten this to this right here, copy that, go into a new tab and just see if that pops up from just that. Yes, it does. Okay. So we're going to come back over here and provide this link here. And then last but not least, for this particular use case, I am going to say Merlin Magic, so it can just do the best that it possibly can. And I'm going to push ask. Now it's going to go out there based on the website, based on the, I mean, just look at this in action. This is pretty awesome right here. It's taking the URL that we provided. It's taking the prompt right here, and it's taking the keyword we provided, and it's going out there, and it did decide to use Claude 3 Sonnet, but it does have the ability to go online because we chose that feature. You can also just choose Claude 3 Sonnet now that we know that's the one that it chooses. We have Merlin Magic right here. It selected Claude 3 Sonnet. It's scraping links, so it did decide to turn on its web scraper, scanning attachments, crafting the perfect response. So this is the kind of what it did. I really like the way that this is lined out. Super good stuff. And you can see up here, it does say to write in markdown format right here. And so we have the ultimate keto grocery list, your guide to low carb success. And we have all this good stuff right over here. It's all grouped together, a meal planning diagram. So I'm not sure about what this looks like, but this does look like a pretty short article. I am going to go and let's just see if we can copy this whole thing. This part would be separate, so we would need to add that into our article later, but I'm going to go ahead and see if we can just copy this whole thing. I want to go into Hemingway and see what kind of score we can get in Hemingway over here. It says grade 4, which is just crazy. That might be the lowest grade that I've seen. It definitely gives it a good score right there. We would need to beef this up a little bit. We're going back in here just to look. I mean, this is pretty similar to what they provided. It's just a list of foods. There isn't really like a major article. It just kind of mimicked the article. And then what else? I was going to go into Zero GPT as well and just see what sort of score it comes up with for us. How well it scores with. So it says most of your text is AI GPT generated. So we got a 45% score. So about almost half of it is detected as AI. Half is not bad. So that's how you could use some of their tools to write an article. Maybe you can come up here and add something more, maybe to say something like every paragraph that you write. Maybe one other test would be to find an article that is like how to start a marketing agency. And we'll come in here and we'll try to find a good article right here. And this is a full-blown article right here, so that's cool. So I'm going to do another one for you guys. So how to start a marketing agency right here. So this is going to be our keyword. We're going to go into Merlin. And you can see our credits, they just barely go down, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back to new chat, and we'll come back over here to the high ranking article one again, right here, open that up. And then I'm going to go like this and then a shift return. And then we'll come back. I'm going to do one more for you guys. So then now we're going to just grab the URL here, go back into Merlin, paste that in, and then this time what we'll do is we'll turn Merlin Magic off, but we will stick with Claude and we'll turn live search on. Very important to turn the live search on so it has the ability to go and search this URL right here and then push ask. And it's going to go out there and write again. So it's scraping links, and you can see that it's writing in front of us right here. We can see what it's going to do. So it's scraping links, it's scanning any attachments that we put in there. It's crafting the perfect response. So I'm going to come down here and look and see what we get right over here. So it does tend to, we have a nice introduction paragraph. There's no fluff in this, but it does do, it kind of overdoes it on bullet points and steps and so forth. We're not really seeing the kind of what you would expect paragraphs and so forth. So that would be something that I would want to probably improve on, come up with my own prompt. But essentially, there's some really good stuff in here. What do you guys think about replacing? I think I'm going to give it a go. I think I had this idea months ago. I think last time Merlin came on the market, and it'll be interesting. What I need to do is probably just see if I can move over the most common projects that I use inside of Claude, right? So I come over here and we go into projects and just move over the ones that I use the most, right? Like I have a ton of them created, but the ones that I use the most are YouTube related, and basically rebuild them in Merlin, okay? And then start using Merlin for the next several weeks, and then I'll come back and give you guys an updated video and just kind of say, hey, it works pretty well. So I can give that kind of feedback, or if I'm like, there's just no way that you can actually, once you're using ChatGPT or Claude on a daily basis, there's just no tool that compares to it. You've got to pay the $20 a month and just stick with Pro. So I can come back, make sure to subscribe so I can make a video, and maybe in a month from now, about my journey of just trying to use Merlin in more of a Claude replacement type fashion, and I'll kind of update you guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is a pretty good replacement? I think definitely for light users. I do this full time, and so I might not be able to sub out Claude. But certainly, I think for small businesses and light users, you only need a couple things done each day or something like that. I think that this would be a very solid replacement. I can almost make that estimation right now. There's over 1 million users already using Merlin, so it's obviously a good tool. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.